You guys, should we start like a baby toddler book club? Do you know what a book club is? A book club is when lots of people who love books come together, they read the same books together, and then we get to talk about them. Because even though we all read the same book, we all kind of bring a different part to the story. Like I bring my mind to the story, you bring your mind to the story, another person brings their heart to the story, another person can bring their toes to the story, another person can bring their ears to a story, and we all have different listening ears, right? So we can all sometimes, even when we hear the same words, we hear different things. So when we all talk to each other about it, we can learn different things and see things through your eyes and see things through my eyes. And it makes it so much more fun when we do something we love, but we get to do it together. Does that sound like a good idea? Let's start a book club. Ready? Today, Masi's going to read some classics that have been around a long, long time. First, Masi's going to read Corduroy by Don Freeman. This is a classic for almost 50 years, it says. 50 years. That's longer than I've been here. And definitely longer than you've been here. Okay. Corduroy, Story and Pictures by Don Freeman. Thank you, Don Freeman, for this lovely book. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers, buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she cried. "Look! There's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and he began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up, up, up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered? I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But, like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now, who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." Does the night watchman have his flashlight? You notice the flashlight? He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. The end. What did you learn from that story? Did you learn Corduroy was looking for his button? I took away a couple of things. Nothing like having a friend. Lisa found him. And you always find your person. Your person finds you. And also, I really admired how Corduroy, when he heard that he lost a button, he just went up and looked for it. He didn't wait for someone to bring him his button. He got it. Or he tried to find it. But did he make a mistake and think that the mattress button was his shoulder strap button? Yeah, that can happen on adventures, right? Yes. Okay, next we're going to read The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Carle. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through 1 apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. Wow, look at those colors. What did you get from that one? Masi got 2 things. 1, cocoon when you're about to change. 2, if you have a stomachache, eat some green leaves. What did you get from that one? Okay, next we're going to read Brown Bear, what do you see? This is by Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carle. Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me. White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. Black sheep, what do you see? I see a goldfish looking at me. Goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me. Children, what do you see? We see, the pages are stuck. 1 second. Okay. We see a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow duck, a blue horse, a green frog, a purple cat, a white dog, a black sheep, a goldfish, and a teacher looking at us. That's what we see. What do you see? That's a great book. I just like asking, what do you see? I saw what they saw. Next, let's read Chicka, boom, boom. This one is so fun, and it's really fun to read because you'll start reading the words and it just sounds like a song. And all of a sudden, you're like, am I a singer? So Chicka, boom, boom by Bill Martin Jr. and John Archambault. Illustrated by Louise Elhert. Okay. A told B and B told C, I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree. We, said D to E, F, G, I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka, boom, boom, will there be enough room? Here comes H up the coconut tree, and I and J, and tag along K, all on their way up the coconut tree. Chicka, boom, boom, will there be enough room? Look who's coming, L-M-N-O-P. And Q, R, S, and T, U, V. Still more W, and X, Y, Z. Those are Masi's favorite letters. The whole alphabet up the, oh no! Chicka, boom, boom. Then the letters all fall down. Skit, scat, scoodle, doot, flip, flop, flee. Everybody running to the coconut tree. Mamas and papas and uncles and aunts hug their little dears, then dust their little pants. Help us up, cried A, B, C. Next from the pile-up, skinny D and stub-toe E and patched-up F. Then comes G all out of breath. Can I see the pictures? H is tangled up with I. J and K are about to cry. L is knotted like a tie. M is looped, N is stooped, O is twisted alley-oop. Skid scat scoodle doot, flip flop flee. Look who's coming, it's black-eyed P, Q, R, S, and loose-toothed T. Then U, V, W, wiggle jiggle free. Last two come XYZ, and the sun goes down on the coconut tree. But chicka chicka boom boom, look, there's a full moon. A is out of bed, and this is what he said. Dare, double dare, you can't catch me. I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom. Those are the letters. That was fun. I learned have fun with your letters, and when you fall off the tree, you'll get back up, one way or another. What did you get from that book? Okay, we've got one more left for today. This is a really fun sing-songy rhymey one. It's called the Pout-Pout Fish. I guess you could read it without sing-songy rhymey ways, but I kind of like sing-songy rhymey ways. Okay, this is the Pout-Pout Fish by Deborah Diesen. Pictures by Hanna. Deep in the water where the fish hang out lives a glum, gloomy swimmer with an ever-present pout. I'm a pout-pout fish with a pout-pout face, so I spread the dreary wearies all over the place. Blub, blub, blub. Along comes a clam with a wide winning grin and a pearl of advice for her pal to take in. Hey, Mr. Fish, with your crosstown frown, don't you think it's time to turn it upside down? Says the fish to his friend, nice thought, Miss Clam. I hear what you're saying, but it's just the way I am. I'm a pout-pout fish with a pout-pout face, so I spread the dreary wearies all over the place. Blub, blub, blub. Along comes a jellyfish, he floats through the ocean, his tentacles all trailing in a gentle locomotion. Hey, Mr. Fish, with your daily scaly scowl, I wish you wouldn't greet us with a grimace and a growl. Says the fish to his friend, Mr. Jelly, I agree. I'd like to be more friendly, but it isn't up to me. I'm a pout-pout fish with a pout-pout face, so I spread the dreary wearies all over the place. Blub, blub, blub. Along comes an octopus with 8 great arms, covered on the underside with tiny sucker charms. Hey, Mr. Fish, let me tell it to you straight. Your hulky-bulky sulking is an unattractive trait. Says the fish to his friend, Mr. 8, my chum, with a mouth like mine, I am destined to be glum. I'm a pout-pout fish with a pout-pout face, so I spread the dreary wearies all over the place. Blub, blub, blub. Now along comes a fish in a silent silver shimmer. The gang has never seen before this bright and brilliant swimmer. She approaches Mr. Fish, but instead of saying hey, she plants a kiss upon his pout, and then she swims away. Mr. Fish is most astounded. Mr. Fish is just aghast. He is stone-faced like a statue. Then he blinks and speaks at last. My friends, says Mr. Fish, I should have known it all along. I thought that I was pouty, but it turns out I was wrong. I'm a kiss fish with a kiss face for spreading cheery cheeries all over the place. So I'll smooch, 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 smooch. The end. Now that one is so fun. And you know what I love about this one? If you just turn his frown upside down, sometimes it's fun to turn books upside down. Look, if you turn it upside down, he's a smiling fish. Spread cheery cheeries. That's my takeaway. What's your takeaway? All right, bud. That's all the stories we have for today. We'll get more next time. I'll see you next time. Bye.